right, we are back with the Evan Ginzburg Show at Village Connection Radio. We have Jim Savali on the on the controls here, and we are joined by wrestling and music journalist Shin-Blade.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, along with my buddy Chris Michaels, who had a long, illustrious wrestling career and worked in WWE and worked with many of the legends. Tell us about some of the legends you wrestled.
Ric Flair.
Never heard of him. No,
Yeah.
joke. Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter, Undertaker. I know they're the undercard guys. You know.
And you were an early ECW guy. Tell us about that.
Yes, I was with the Eastern Championship Wrestling. Originally, I went down there just as myself, Chris Michaels, and then Eddie Gilbert at the time was the booker. Decided he was going to change my name to Richard Michaels and put me with Chris Candido and Johnny Hotbody in the trifecta tag team called the Suicide Blondes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were two-time ECW tag team champions. We had defeated the Super Destroyers. Salvatore Bellomo was like my big rival back then. We had a big feud back and forth with each other. And it's
A lot of people don't remember ECW from the Eddie Gilbert days, but I was down there at the time, and Eddie was amazing. God, I was so saddened when he passed. He was maybe 33 or 4 when he died.
young guy. Young
Yeah.
guy. It's I mean, he was the first guy to really give me a shot as far as getting a push, because at the same time, while I was doing ECW, I was still doing preliminary matches for WWF back then. So it was during that time, because the ECW exploded like right around just after '93, because that's kind of like when I was on my way out, because that's when Paul Heyman took over booking and brought everybody. Dreamer, Taz, Sabu. Once Sabu was there doing the stuff he did, we kind of knew that a lot of us weren't going to be there much longer, because they really upped the expectations of what they wanted you to do in the ring. And
We were having the conversation in the car before. You know, you're not a big fan of hardcore death matches.
well, the death matches, no. It's,
When we did the wrestler, remember the hardcore scene with Necro Butcher? I brought in
Yeah,
Necro Butcher.
Necro, yeah.
We went backstage at the CZW show. They had the Cage of Death.
Yeah.
It was like a mash unit. It was like a mash unit. These guys were mutilated.
Oh, my
and
God.
I didn't quite understand it myself. I mean, you know, I like an Abdullah Butcher or the original Sheik. That, you know, I
Bruiser
get that,
Brody.
but you know, to start going through panes of glass, I don't. What's your take on that?
look, I mean, fluorescent light bulbs, I was always told that the gases in the fluorescent light bulbs, when you cut yourself, you can get scars that will never go away. Not even the fact that you're risking your body and your life. The fans in attendance, those when you shatter those bulbs, it just does.
Goes
It's not
everywhere.
self-contained. It's not like a building that implodes.
The chemicals can't be healthy for you either.
Oh, of course not. I mean, you think of those gases coming out. I don't know. To
Yeah.
me, the guys that do it, I mean, God bless them. They're going to need all the blessings they can and good health coverage. I just don't see the benefit of that.
A lot of those ECW guys are gone.
Well, Bam Bam actually, in a shoot interview, had said that. He said none of these things made sense, and you know, you guys are killing. He said he was surprised nobody died in the ring when he was there, because it was just. I mean,
Scott Bigelow, great guy to work with. I wrestled a match with him. He goes, make sure someone's taping this, because you can send it to promoters. And he really worked a good match. And Sherry Martel was my manager.
Oh, wow.
I was Sir Christopher Michaels when I came out. Had her out there. It was a Tommy D show when he was
I think
alive.
she was one of the all-time great women. What's your take on Sherry Martel?
I loved it. First time I met her was when I went to do SummerSlam 1990. I was one of the guys that was carried Macho Man when he was the Macho King. That was my first gig I did with them. Funny story for this before I get to Sherry. I brought my father. My father was an old guy at the time, and you know he kind of liked watching the wrestling. So at the time, McMahon used to have these tremendous buffets before the show. So my father's in there with me, and if any of you guys are familiar with E.F. Hutton, remember those commercials. My father sits there, looks across, he sees Bobby Heenan, and he goes, "Hey, look, the weasel!" I was
Yeah.
Oh, and all of a sudden, the place went dead silent. All heads turned in my direction. I'm going, oh my God, I'm never going to work with this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
They saw it was an old guy, and then everybody started talking again. I was,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to get fired before I even get started. So,
That's funny.
Getting back to Sherry, so I'm getting ready. They're getting ready to do the interview, and that was Sean Mooney interviewing Macho
Yes,
Man
yes.
before the match.
Yeah.
Sherry's there. I see her. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, would you like a Tic Tac? First thing she said,
Wow.
sweet lady, sweet lady. And everywhere I went, I seen her from there on out. Every time I saw her, it was cool. Doing my road stuff, hanging out with Neidhart, Marty Jannetty, Valentine.
It's like 6 Degrees of Greg Valentine. Everybody knows. Yeah.
We're
Greg's
all
been
hanging.
everywhere.
And it's just like really cool. Like years ago, when I was in the Army, in my wildest dreams, never thought I'd be hanging out in a motel room with these guys on the road. It was cool.
Good times.
It's just strange that.
What do you consider your greatest match? I mean, from an art point of view, I don't mean the biggest name you wrestled.
Well, like I mentioned, the one with Bam Bam was great because I was disqualified. I didn't get pinned.
Right.
So it was like he swung me around a lot from the time going back and forth. So when you see guys around, especially the guys that have been around for a while, they see you in locker rooms all over the place. They begin to trust you. When that trust happens, because you go out there with some matches. Like when I worked the Nasty Boys. First time I went out, they beat me from pillar to post and back and forth and every which way you could. I went back to the locker room when I was done, and I'm like, hey, guys, it was cool. They're like, brother.
Yeah.
Next match I went out, it was great. I went in, did this, that, tagged my opponent. He got all the heat. He got everything. So it was, when they know that you're going in there and you're serious about this profession, and that's not some starry-eyed kid that I call smarks or marks or these kids that they think because they're fans, somehow they're part of this. Yes, they are. The fans, you need the fans. So I'm not disparaging the fans, but there is life outside of wrestling. The guys unfriending people and threatening death because Roman Reigns retired The Undertaker. Threatening his life. Come on, kids. Get out of mommy's basement. Live a little bit.
Yeah. Start dating.
Outside, full sunlight, vitamin D. Get outside. Disconnect your phone.
Chris Michaels cutting a promo.
And the part about it is in the wrestling industry now, there's a line between becoming those smart fans and becoming a worker, whether you're in the ring or you're doing commentary or you're doing anything. The other side of that barrier, I mean, because I gone to shows. I gone to a show in Virginia one time, and the ring announcer had a suit coat on. He had jeans, tennis sneakers, and a Bo Dallas shirt. And I'm looking at him like, you're supposed to be a ring announcer, and you're wearing a WWE shirt. And
So much for credibility.
yeah, it was like, he announced the guys coming down to the ring and say, this is for the championship. Announced the guys come down to the ring, and he's like, again, this is for the championship. And I'm doing play-by-play commentary in this small Virginia town. So it is a line of being a fan and everybody's a fan.
But you have to have that smooth transition.
Yes, and that's why when I meet people, sometimes my heart will go because I'm like, I never thought I would meet this guy. Like Bret Hitman Hart, one of my favorite guys growing up.
Humble guy.
Yes, and I remember when I first started, he came to me and said, "Hi, my name is Bret," and I'm looking at, and in my mind is like, you came to me. Yeah, I should be coming to you. But
that's the old school way.
That's how it is.
Respect in the locker room. You go in, you shake everybody's hand. Here, some of the guys they mark out to themselves. They walk around with their gimmick on. When you're in an indie promotion, and guys, if you're thinking about running an indie promotion, do not talk about other promotions. Yeah. If you don't make your promotion like it is the only thing on the face of this earth, then forget it. You don't know how to brand yourself properly. You don't acknowledge other organizations. You push yourself, and this look like there's no one else out there but everyone else. If you want to co-collaborate on an event, that's great. But everybody put their collective interest into it. But for the most part, if you want to grow something, you don't see. Well, now you do. Samsung and iPhone to collaborate now.
Yeah.
They have no choice. But before, you didn't see the collaboration. Mm-hmm. They were trying to survive. They were trying to create a brand, and that's what a lot of these new companies don't do. They can't create a brand. All they're doing is they're the ersatz cheap version of the big brand.
And you can't use the same pool of $25 wrestlers or free wrestlers where they're on every indie show. We had 6 indie shows in New York this weekend. 6. I can't watch the same guy 6 times in one weekend. You know, it's a little ridiculous.
Well, also there's a rule that I have, and I may be giving myself away a little bit going to these shows, is that make sure you be respectful to everyone, because you never know. Even the people that you're ignorant of, make sure that you will learn from them. Because I even got into, I didn't get into it with them, but they got into it with me because it was an indie guy, and I saw the guy. He was in his street clothes, and he asked me, "Are you a worker?" I was like, "No, I'm a reporter, I'm a media guy, journalist." He's like, "Oh, you're just a fan," and I'm just like, "Dude, who are you?" And he's like, "I'm this guy's name." I was like, honestly, I never heard of you. You know, I had never seen your material. And actually, you know, he gets mad. He gets what the internet says, butt hurt. And I just said, I was honest with him. I'm not going to lie to you.
Never hurts to be nice to people in general. I mean,
Well, I always tell people, be careful of the toes you step on today, because they're going to be connected to the ass you'll be kissing later.
Yes. Exactly.
I got to steal that one.
there's only 2 ways to go in wrestling, up or down, and you're going to meet them, you know, both places
What
eventually.
do they say on the odd couple? The same people you meet on the way up, are the same people you meet on the way down. So,
But it's funny that, you know, me being in indie wrestling, that so many people have so many egos, like they've been somewhere, and it's only like what 5-10%.
well, that's part of their delusion.
Right.
Well, like I was saying before about wrestlers that spend $100 on their gear, I wouldn't give them a second thought.
Some of them don't have gear.
We go
Right.
to the
Some
deli,
have sneakers.
Exactly.
get boots, or get tights and this and that, and you come out and you just look like the rest of the guys that went to Modell's and bought just plain tights.
Someone don't even have gym plans. They just say, I'm a wrestler, put on the tights, go in the ring, and go. I seen a show Friday night where a guy, some wrestlers do this. He takes his straps down off his long tights, and he has breasts.
It's not even that. He doesn't even have anything. It's usually a washboard. There's nothing there
It
sometimes.
sounds like they're talking about General Romero.
No, but it doesn't make sense.
I like General Romero.
Oh,
He's a good
cool
guy.
He's a
I
cool
just gave him
guy.
a plug.
And I hate to interject, but like you're right and spot on. Like, and when you said shake hands in the locker room, that's what I was taught. One of the indie shows that I was at, Piper was there.
Ooh.
Nobody let him sit. Nobody offered him a seat.
Ooh.
Nobody. I'm not going to
Because
mention.
they weren't taught.
And I'm not going to mention the promotion, but nobody offered him a seat.
But it goes back to what I was saying earlier in the green room. They're not guided by professionals. They're guided by guys that maybe tried to break in. They get some money mark to buy a ring and rent the building. I have a wrestling school. Who are you? Where have you been? You're going to carry me to this level and you haven't been any place? Come on. I mean, there are some places, and there is a place. I mean, there's NYWC.
Right, John
That's out
Kersey,
here.
yeah.
That's out here in Deer Park, in Long Island. You have Monster Factory.
Yes, Danny
That's,
Cage.
Danny Cage.
Yeah.
He's a very outspoken guy.
Yes, he is.
He's point blank, blunt, doesn't sugarcoat a damn thing, and I like it. I like it. Because he's kind of like the Simon Cowell of wrestling schools. You come in, and if you're horrible, then that's it, baby. You're horrible. Everyone that steps in that ring is not going to be a superstar, and I can be the first person to tell you. I didn't get what I thought I was going to get. But that's just what happens, is, that look. The kid James Ellsworth, look at him. He doesn't look anything like a regular traditional wrestler. He reminds me actually of the Mulkeys tag team.
Does.
Of one of the Mulkeys.
The Mulkey Brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
He reminds me, and that's the thing. He has the look of the guy that looks like he took the chance at some carnival to spend 3 minutes in the ring with a wrestler and get $5,000. That's the kind of look he has when he gets in there. Like he what is it? Quantum leap. The next thing it was, oh boy, here I am. In the ring.
But it works. It works.
But it works because you could identify with this guy because most of their fan base looks like him.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's the problem.
And he's around the corner from me in Baltimore, Maryland, too. He lives around the corner.
And I love it. I wish this kid so much success that his phone, he had to change his number, it rings too much. That's what I like.
I think he did.
Guys like that is what I was when I first got in. No one expected us to be anything. All we were meat. We went out there. The only offensive move I had was waving to the audience. Hey, I'm in the ring, and boom, that was it. Last thing I did. All like that extra shining lights. But that's what the wrestling business is. And if you know, when you got these people that they put everything under a microscope and try to overanalyze things, it's like, look, does anyone really go to David Copperfield and ask him, how did you do that trick? Come on, you know, once you know the secret of things, doesn't it really take the whole fun out of it?
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you. I mean, now, I mean, you come from this really, for the younger crowd, I would say, an old school way of wrestling. What do you think about now when you go to an indie show and you see everybody doing 30 super kicks and 80 dives all through the show?
It means that they're not watching the show. There's no respect for the other guys, because I can tell you, we would sit and watch the monitor, and if one guy had a finishing move, like for instance Jake the Snake back in the day, DDT, nobody else does that guy's move. And what they do is they just take everyone's finishing move and they just make it another move. They make it just something else. And the thing that I don't understand, I watch the guys, they're getting taken from pillar to post, getting hit with chairs and tables and getting body slammed on thumbtacks. The guy gets powder thrown in his face and he can't kick out of it. How the hell does that make sense? The guy just survived getting beaten within an inch of his life, and somehow Johnson's baby powder prevented him from kicking out. It's stupid. The things that these guys do to do the thing, these angles are just so stupid.
Didn't Junkyard Dog work a match with powder in his eyes? Or he was blinded?
Freebirds blinded him, and oh god, those were riots back then. Oh my!
Freebirds, those guys fought up.
Freebirds were tough.
That's like I said. When I was in the army, growing up, but during that time, Mid South Wrestling, that was what it was. And down south, you don't have a big choice of TV stations.
I interviewed Bill Watts at his house last year in Florida, and he's, I believe, 76 or 77, and you wouldn't want to mess with this guy. This is a tough guy. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah,
he's a big boy still, you know?
He still got the tough handshake?
Those guys back then were...
Yeah, Bill Watts, man.
Well,
the real
how
deal.
How many wrestlers do you see nowadays with cauliflower ears? That's really true.
Actually, one is a good friend of mine, Fred Yehai from Evolve Wrestling. He still has the ear and everything.
But was he also amateur wrestling in school as well?
Yes, he was. He's a ground technical wrestler. Catch point. Yeah.
That's the real telltale sign of a lot of the old timers, and they're leaving us little by little. But there's the Cauliflower Ear Club, and that's just from those guys. I mean, they worked and they made it look as if they were killing each other, but yet most of these guys lived long lives because they didn't go through tables, they didn't get beat to death with objects.
But also, when you speak to the legends, when you talk to a guy like Johnny Valiant, who's a dear friend of mine, he'll tell you, we prided ourselves on working light. We didn't want to hurt each other, you know, and right?
Well, like I said, when Bam Bam was giving me forearms, it looked like he was killing me, but I was like, I can't believe this. This is great.
Yeah.
I finally earned the right to not get killed. You know?
But saying that, by working light, they actually had to have a skill in that.
Of course.
That skill, you actually had to know how to wrestle.
Of course.
Like grapple.
Yeah.
And they don't do that anymore. And like one of my last shows I ever did, I was in like Chicopee, Mass. And I'm just going to this guy, and this guy said, went over the whole match. Wanted me to memorize the whole match. I got in. I couldn't remember the whole match. What did I do? Forearm. Just, you know.
No one works a body part anymore. Like back in the day, you have the guy, you know, work some spots.
Killer Kowalski used to work the leg.
Yes.
Right.
Work the leg.
The Anderson brothers.
Work the back.
Yeah.
It's just a free-for-all, and there's no structure. And that's what, like I said in the car on the way here to the guys, WWE fans, to me, right now, is like a cult. They go out, they say things, they're programmed, they all clap like cheerleaders. I've never in my life, it's like, what the hell are these wrestling fans turning into?
Don't forget the Kool-Aid.
A soap opera.
Yeah, it is. And they rise in indignation if you're critical of them. It's $1 billion corporation. If you say anything negative, they're seething like it's a religion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you say something, like, I can't stand Bailey. I don't like.
Really?
Because hugging. Hugging. It's wrestling. There's no hugging in wrestling.
Yeah.
No, there's
no
not.
hugging
But
in wrestling.
the gimmick.
I
to
think
me
all
is
the
like
wrestlers should
Ellsworth.
hug each other.
Suplex.
I mean,
Okay, but see, like right now, you're like, whoa. See, everyone loves Bailey. I hate Bailey.
No. It's not that everyone loves Bayley. It's just that
I'm
her
in the
character's
middle.
different. Her character is actually different. But what you were saying about WWE fans, I got this going to a movie a couple months ago. I went to go see the movie Logan when it first came out.
yeah.
Don't tell me the ending. I didn't see it.
No.
You should say anything.
If you know the comic, you know the ending. And I had this WrestleMania, this WWE sweatshirt. It was on sale. I bought it. And this girl comes up and she's like, "Oh, you're a fan of WWE?" And I said, "And then some." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm a fan of Ring of Honor, Evolve, New Japan Wrestling, and Independent." And she just scoffed at me. She's like, "Ugh, I don't mess with independent guys. You guys are all arrogant." And I just said, "Really?" As opposed to the many groups that I'm in on Facebook, and they say how much Roman Reigns needs to die and John Cena needs to go away, and how many people ask the stupid question of, do you think The Rock should be in the Hall of Fame? It's like, out of all of that, and I looked at her, I said, where do you think AJ Styles come from? Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura. You can name a couple more.
They all came out.
Where do you think they come from? Do you think that WWE, they just walked into the Performance Center and they just created the star and came up? No.
Like I was just saying in the green room, like for instance, Taz. I've known Pete Sinurchia for most of my entire time from when I broke into wrestling, because he lived. I used to work for a company called Pergamon Home Centers years ago, and in Bethpage they had their big mega store, 2 floors. And he used to come in every once in a while. I'd see him. We talk, hey, what's going on? And I used to wrestle with him tons of times on ICW. And remember him clotheslining me on cement floors. And I mean, it was I was trying when I went in there putting a guy over. I made sure if the guy was supposed to be strong, he's going to be strong. Period. But like you mentioned earlier, there were too many egos in the indies for guys that have never been any place other than the borders of their hometown. Some guys, I drove out of state to do a show. I was like, yeah, but you're the world champion and you haven't left Ohio? How the hell is that possible?
How are you a world champion when you never left the state?
That's what I'm saying. Is that the guys, they in their own delusion, they feel they're stars, they're legends in their own minds.
Speaking of delusional, I like fans who carry championship belts. Like,
What is with that?
They're strutting around.
Oh,
What's that all about?
Spaghetti arms and like, that's right, WWE or the Intercontinental Championship or like any of the.
I like the design though, but
I do like it too. But it's like,
I can't. But I live in Baltimore, Maryland, let alone be in New York City. Why would I carry something that's like $400 or even $1,000 custom made across my body
with
like that?
autographs on it too, which ups the price. I didn't see that a lot.
Well, these are the same people that go to every WrestleMania. They go to everything they could possibly go to, and then they bitch about the price of a Metro card when it goes up a few bucks. You're crying about something that's necessary. Going to WrestleMania is not necessary.
Chris will appreciate this. I'm with this guy who's an actor. He spends $800 for a WrestleMania ticket, but he won't support an indie film. When it comes to like throwing down $20, to buy a DVD off a starving indie filmmaker, he breaks into a cold sweat. But he got an $800 WrestleMania ticket.
WrestleMania is like. Here's the thing. You mentioned WWE Hall of Fame.
I went to it this year.
Wait. There's no such thing. Where is the WWE Hall of Fame? It's an online.
It's in parts unknown.
Yeah,
It's in the air somewhere.
It's parts unknown.
They're about to build one in a couple of years, whatever.
Well, there's one Hall of Fame, Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, but
yes, it is,
and it's in Texas. But it's like WrestleMania. They say it's like the Super Bowl of wrestling and all that stuff. Is it really? Because I mean, it's just to me, it's just yes, but like. It's not like make or break, like you said right there. So, like get an $100 ticket to go see WrestleMania. All right, well, like what are you really getting out of it? It's the same stuff you're gonna see like on Monday Night Raw because they keep on putting main events on Monday Night Raw. Okay. So it's literally the same thing.
I'll give you 2 points about that. The Super Bowl of wrestling, yes, they built themselves up to a credibility, media-wise, media outlets. They all cover that.
Yeah.
I will give that part away. Give that part. The other part about it is you made a fine point about that. Is to the point where every main event or top match on Raw, you get all this stuff, and there's nothing left to the imagination or nothing left to the pay-per-views that they don't do that either. So it's like, okay, you're gonna see Neville do flippy spots. okay, what is it special that you're going to see on the pay-per-view? What is it special that you're going to see in WrestleMania? So in this society, we're living in an ADD society. We need it now.
The kids are raised on music videos with haircuts every 4
and,
seconds.
and that's how it is. You know, back in the 90s, you know, when I grew up, you know, I told you this on the way that Taz and Sabu did not face each other in ECW for about a year, and the build was so great. So when they finally faced off, it was a big explosion. And you know, imagine social media if they had something like that. So it's just the fact that now it's just the fact that now. In this society, the way the ADD is going off, okay, I'm gonna tell this for people who know. Shinsuke Nakamura is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is on SmackDown. Kevin Owens is on SmackDown. And I said, if Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles don't face off in 6 months, when they shake it up again, it's gonna be a travesty.
Here's the one thing. They got too many belts, okay?
They do.
See, a belt used to mean that was your build up for that belt. Now you got 15 belts. You got a US
So
belt.
it means nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
mean
they all
anything.
look the
Literally
same.
means
They're
nothing.
like participation trophies.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And they all look the same.
Yes.
Which I do not
Except
like.
for the IC, I'm glad that they kept that. But
Well, the US title, they made it up themselves.
Ring
They
of Honor
declined.
figured it out. They let the guy have the belt for a year and a half. It feels like it means something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So look, Bruno held the belt for what, 12 years?
Oh Jesus.
8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, eight, okay,
8 years, yeah.
But the thing is that there are too many pay-per-views, and the thing I've always did, whether I was making videos or doing anything I was doing, you always have to. The rule that we did with videos is come in late and leave early. And the reason why you do that, if you're coming in, like if you start a movie, you're coming in the middle of a conversation, guy throws the punchline, people start laughing, you know something was going on before time. And then if you cut something off just before it's ready to end, well, what the hell happened? You don't have these things like these ring clearing, the locker room clearing brawls at the end of these things. Where, if we have television time remaining, we'll bring this to you next week. You don't have cliffhangers the way you did anymore. Now it's
You're actually right.
what it is. You just get this creative team stay in the Titan Sport movie making thing and stay the hell out of wrestling.
Well, to tell you the truth, WWE's creative.
He's a good talker.
WWE creative is based out of Hollywood and is not actual people in the business. You know, Pat Patterson. I don't know if he still is creative, but he used to do creative.
Patterson, Arlen Skolin, Tony Gurria,
All those guys.
There is no better film than The Marine 5 with Bo Dallas. Yeah.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I saw that before I took off.
You
for
can't even
Orlando.
understand it unless you saw the first 4.
It was better than 4.
No,
I would admit to that one. It was better than 4.
Can I read a couple of comments
Sure,
that people
sure.
are saying to you guys?
They're gonna murder
We're
us.
getting some good comments
Yeah.
here.
Death is
Dan
happening.
Romano, I don't know at what point he said this, but he said, remember one thing, a boo is as good as a cheer in wrestling.
Of course, that's what the heels live for.
yeah.
Not when I'm booing at the TV because it's so boring. That's a different kind of boo.
When you're looking forward to the Miralax commercial rather than watching the H's 20-minute. It's like, what the hell are you saying?
In the beginning of this show,
Right, beginning of the show. Back in the day, you had something called a jump start.
We should
match
get Dan
before TV
Romano
went
down
on.
here
Get
and
the
talk some
crowd
wrestling
up.
one day. He's a
How
big
do you
wrestling
get the crowd up
guy.
and excited to start a thing when you got a guy like, well, if you want to get a hot dog, popcorn.
Jim,
or
what
soda,
else are they
now's the
saying?
time to do it. Triple H
Okay.
is on.
We got Jeff said best match ever.
Flash
Yes?
Steamboat.
Oh, wait a second. Anyone
No.
else?
I will
Anyone
go
else?
Hammer, Greg the Hammer versus Bob Backlund.
Anyone else?
I will go with to me. I'll throw one out there. Steamboat Savage.
Okay, here we go. Ricky
What
the
about when,
Wait. Ricky the Steamboat versus Randy Savage.
Wow.
Well, I give it.
It was choreographed.
That was great.
Okay,
It was
When
great.
you just mentioned Ricky Dragon Steamboat
Yep.
versus Randy Savage. Back then, it was men going against men, not boys going against boys.
Right.
That's the difference. Like, look at this. Look at the roster now, and look at the roster then. Look at the roster in the mid '90s when the Raw era happened. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Who's the current champion now for WWE? Exactly, no one knows. But like,
Yeah. Who knows?
how big of an
Yeah.
The current
Shockwaves.
Well, you're a journalist. You should know this.
the current champion WWE right now is Randy Orton. The WWE
For the
champion.
13th time, it's stultifying.
The Universal champion is
Owen still?
no, is God, it's on the tip of my
Lesnar.
tongue. Lesnar.
Lesnar.
It goes right to what he
See,
was
your
saying.
part-time
Yeah,
is
the
not
titles
forget.
mean nothing. We can't even remember them.
There's too many belts.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, and not taking anything away to those guys. And then, like, okay, Lesnar, that's more believable. Orton, yeah, but, like, the rest of the guys, it's like, we were talking about Alberto Del Rio. Stone Cold would eat him for breakfast.
Yeah.
Just for looking at him. Like, there's no guys.
As far as
like-
characters,
No, just in general.
because Del Rio is actually an MMA fighter.
It doesn't matter. I know in my mind, let's just say as a fan, Stone Cold can kick the crap out of him.
I disagree with Del Rio because, like I said, the whole MMA fighting, that brings a bit of credibility.
No,
to it.
he's saying if they walked into the ring.
At the persona.
Yeah, the persona.
the character persona.
The
Okay,
persona.
okay.
Because, I mean, Alberto Del Rio, even if he looked like, he still looks kind of, not girly, but,
Don't say that to him.
you know what I mean? Just-
He goes 8. He
looks
goes
all
8 now.
He looks all model-like,
We need Alberto Del Rio to trash the show, and we'll get tons of publicity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He did it. He did it in your state.
Yeah.
He was at a show in Connecticut not too long ago, and he was just trashing WWE, the long nosed guy and the old guy.
You
and
gotta love him for that.
he kept doing it. He is on my list along with CM Punk
I like
of
him.
guys.
You know
I love
what?
CM Punk. That he's never
guy.
going to return to WWE unless there is some kind of strict moving to earth business deal.
$15
He's
billion.
never going back. Yeah.
Never say never.
Yeah, I know.
McMahon likes to have his enemies close, and
He will. He'll butter them up.
Well, look how many years Jerry Lawler was trashing them, and where did he wind up? So
they all end up working
when
for
when
him.
it comes to business is business, personal is personal, and we were mentioning nowadays, like looking at the general shape of most of the wrestlers you see nowadays, you couldn't tell in street clothes if these guys are wrestlers or fans.
You want to hear something funny? I'll be working a gimmick table with Greg Valentine or Lanny Poffo or somebody, and somebody will come up to the gimmick table, and I think it's a kid. And, oh, by the way, I'm a wrestler. I'm like, wow, looks like a high school kid,
On the Nintendo.
They don't go to the
Something
gym,
you want
like
with the-
what
with
you
the
said.
video
They
game
don't go to the
See,
gym.
I have a beef with that because as far as being a wrestler, you have to embody several different things to become a successful wrestler. And one of my favorite wrestlers in the indie circuit right now, he's on his way up. The Green Machine, the elite athlete, Mark Orlando.
Yeah.
He has the package. He came
Well,
out
he's
of
a legit-
football.
yeah, he's legit.
He works out. He trains. He does promos.
Guy's 275. He's in tip-top shape. He looks the part, and he can wrestle.
Yeah.
And he's got charisma.
But I can't stand these guys that just work at Home Depot or Best Buy and say I'm a wrestler and then put on tights and then work and then go home. It's a lot of dedication to the business. I go in the ring and train every now and then, so I'm not saying I'm the expert. I'm not saying I'm the expert. It's a lot of dedication. You go to work, you go home, you go train, you do your thing. Now, this age, you got to do social media. And then on top of that, you have wife, kids, girlfriend, whatever.
But when you
have to
say
tend to
do
them.
social media, that means promote your match,
Yes.
promote the show you're on. Don't critique the other indie promotions.
Yeah.
Don't critique Raw. I mean, you're
If I
a
was
wrestler.
Roman-
Promote your match.
If I was Roman Reigns, I would do such and such and such.
I did a show. I was actually my retirement match. I did a show last April, and I don't know. Someone caught wind of something, and my ladies champion found out she was not going over. So she told this person that I talked down to her, and this person has a blog, and she wrote a whole bunch of crap about me in the blog. Now she's also connected to this, and this, and this girl who was my women's champion at the time isn't getting gigs because they saw what she did and whatever else.
Oh, my goodness.
But it goes back to like, why would you say and talk crap about me? You're not going over tonight, so you're going to talk crap about me, and like I'm the one who gave you I'm hiring you to be, like you don't do that. Like going back to what you said, don't talk crap about like anyone.
Well, be careful of the toes you step on.
Exactly.
Be connected to the ass, you'll be kissing later. And that's what I tell all these kids on the indies. The promoter does not need you.
Yeah.
No,
He
I
does not
don't.
need you because there are 10 more jabronis right behind you that are going to try to get in.
Exactly.
We had 87 guys on the card Friday night. I'm exaggerating.
It's
But,
like a Frank Goodman show. 17 hours.
we saw this card, and the main event was the event that actually sold, and the featured match they had 4 guys taking on 4 guys, and it felt like a 7-year-old playing with toys.
What?
Like just mishmash in the ring, and you know, because I didn't know who was who and who was doing what to who.
yeah, it's
and
another
it
thing
was like-
today. As an old school fan, it's hard to tell the faces from the heels. You don't even know who to root for, and it's just kind of like they throw a bunch of guys in the ring.
And the crowd was in the calamity itself. It was just like guy, you know, speaking out of megaphone, and I couldn't concentrate into the match. So it was only 2 matches that were actually good. Like Dan Moff, you know, great guy.
Dan Moff's a tough guy.
The promo that he cut, the microphones were bad. You know, I couldn't hear
Yeah,
what he was
you have
saying.
37 guys on mics, and you can't hear the mic, so it's absolutely pointless. It's like if we were doing radio and you couldn't hear it. Like, what's the
Right.
point?
Right, exactly.
Jim, anybody else? Because we're going to wrap this segment up in a few minutes.
Let's see. The Rock should be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Obviously,
Well, he should, of course.
obviously,
Of course.
he makes all the money in Hollywood.
That's not even like a debatable.
Yeah,
They
sorry,
named a
that,
brand
that was the
after him.
last
I'm
one
not
there.
allowed to use The Rock anymore.
No, he's not even The Rock anymore, right?
He's Dwayne Johnson now.
Dwayne Johnson.
So, guys, plug whatever you want to plug. Shin, we got Tier 1 today, 3 o'clock.
Today at 3 o'clock, Tier 1 Wrestling live on Flow Slam also. One of the featured matches is what I really want to see, which is the former Pentagon Jr., who's now under Penta OM from Lucha Underground, taking on former MMA star and indie wrestling standout Matthew Riddle. Brooklyn, New York, St. Finbar's Catholic Church, 3 o'clock.
I've been there many times.
3 o'clock bell time. I love that place. Also, you can catch me on Shy Lounge, which is on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes. My last interview was with Ring of Honor Shane Taylor. I got an interview coming up I need to put out with former WWE Tag Team Champion Paul London. Also, I have.
You also do music. Tell us about some of the music people.
Well,
you
I
do.
did Dwelle, Grammy Award winning singer Dwelle. I done comedians Justin Hires, Kim Coles, and John Hinton of Living Single. I know I'm missing out on an entertainer somewhere. But yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I did one of your favorite guys from Lucha Underground, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah. Pentagon and Phoenix was tremendous. I saw that live. These guys are world class, and I'm jaded. And I watch Raw on Monday night, and I want to put a gun to my head. I'm so jaded.
I watch 205 Live, and I can go through that, but some of the stuff is just background noise to me.
Chris-
And I'm a SmackDown guy.
Chris Michaels, plug whatever you want to plug.
The only thing I'm going to plug is your next guest that's coming on soon. My best friend I've had since.
I thought I was your best friend. No, I'm kidding.
And he's a really, really smart guy. You know, me and him were class clowns in school. The teachers never thought we'd amount to anything. It was right. No, but seriously, he's an author now, and I couldn't be more proud that he's finally found something he was passionate about and went ahead, stuck to it. I didn't even know he was writing the book, to tell you the truth. And then just come to find out, he went ahead and did it, because I would have encouraged him anyway. But
And that's Philip Salvaggio, and he wrote a book called Frederick Gilbert Bourne, Forgotten Titan of the Gilded Age. So we're going to talk to him in just a few. That's a mouthful.
It's a long title.
There you go. So, guys, we just want to thank you all for talking wrestling with us. And Chris, multi-talented, eclectic mix right here. And he's gonna do several presses of Chris over his head. Chris and Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
There you go. This guy lifts tractor trailers.
Oh my God.
No, seriously.
well, sound like you're going to be on the chiropractor's list.
Yeah.
Teeter hanger.
I'm already
Those
there.
things are great.
I'm already there.
Oh
Inversion
man.
therapy, I do it every single day. It's the best thing in the world.
I was in traction for a year.
Wow.
Oh,
What was that like? What's that like mentally?
Things popped.
No, but I mean mentally, to be in traction for a year, that must really be tough.
It just pulls on your back the whole time, and it kind of you can't walk well. It has until that vertebrae can pop into place. You're like it hurts just to piss.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean-
Whoa.
Yeah. Jim could tell you some stuff also.
okay,
right,
making
Jim?
sure.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst feeling in the world.
Foot injury myself.
You did?
Second surgery. Barely walk.
Oh man. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, went to the back. Went to
I didn't go there, but he looks a little bit like Kevin Nash, doesn't he?
Everything comes back to wrestling.
One of the greatest.
He looks like Sam Houston.
Yeah, he does.
Sam Houston.
Sam Houston. I just met him in Florida.
Someone told me I look like the millionaire. What?
Okay,
Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase.
You sound like him almost.
Yeah.
So
do that laugh.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that price.
so one of the
Money on it?
one of the greatest feelings, I mean, not to be disgusting, but one of the greatest feelings in the world is having to go to the bathroom. But when you said that, it just made me clench a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that's ever had an STD would probably know too.
Oh no.
And on that happy note, we've gone from traction to back surgeries to STDs. So we're gonna talk.
We covered all. We
We covered it all here. That's right.
Not transitional material here.
Like PSA, I'm good for all things. PSA, stay healthy,
I love this guy.
floss.
There you go. There you go.
Avoid
It's
loss.
been a public service announcement from Christopher Michaels. Anyway, when we come back, it's Chris's buddy Philip Savaggio. We're going to talk.
Savaggio Jr.
Junior. Okay. Okay.
There was one before.
All right. So we're going to play a little music and segue into our next guest.